Well, one half of probably one of the best tag teams of the world, D Von Dudley of the Dudley Boys. Devon, what have you been up to? You're here at the Nightmare Con, which is an opportunity for folks to get in the groove of the Halloween. But what you been up to, and what do you feel so far about this con?
Well, the con is going great. I love it. Yesterday was my first day, first time being here, and what better place than Miami, Florida? Uh, been doing a lot of great things. Working behind the scenes was one for WWE. Opening up my own school in Winter Park, Florida, 3 minutes away from the Performance Center. So we're right there, pumping out new students, getting them ready for the WWE. And I got my little hands in this and that. About to come out with my own cigar line. So that's coming out soon, and you'll be posted all over social media. And like I said, I have my hands in just about everything.
Well, you look out good health-wise, and I got to ask you, I know you've been getting the inch, maybe I read around a little bit that you may or wanted to feel what it is to wrestle in the Triple H era. What can you tell me about that?
Well, I wouldn't call it the Triple H era. I would call it the Attitude Era, because that's what it was known for. Triple H just happened to be during that era. It was a great time, great feeling. Everybody made money. Everybody had a good time. And everybody was what we call in the wrestling business over. People knew who they were, and people loved them. So it was a great time, a great feeling.
No, I'm talking about right now, wrestling right now in the current status.
I'm sorry. The Triple H regime I think is going great. Everything with the bloodline, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, all of that is going great. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and the other, they like to call him the Creep Dominic. It's been all good for Triple H, and I'm very happy for the new regime that's going on right now. He's really taken wrestling to another level and producing stars from nowhere and making them into somebody today. So my hat goes off to Triple H.
Any particular tag team that stands out? We just saw the Mortar Machine Guns from TNA. When you were in TNA, you probably ran across them. The current status of the tag team world in wrestling in general, and anyone that particularly just stands out.
I've said this before, even though they might be split and they're not together, it's the Usos. When they do form a team and come back, they're going to be great again. And I love the Usos. We've worked with them. We've done many things with them. We beat them. They beat us. And, we had a good time working together. So the Usos right now are still my favorite. Even though they're not together, they're still going to be my favorite.
In ECW, I remember going to the War Memorial here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm sure you probably recall some memorable matches there that you had. And at that time, ECW, I say we were the innovators, right? Where you had the Lucha Libre style. And we've seen a lot of it now. And some of this is taking a toll on some of these wrestlers. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, our bodies weren't made to do this. God didn't intend for our bodies to do this. This is something man-made. So, of course, the body's going to have wear and tear. The body's going to hurt. You might have to go through surgeries, unfortunately. But you love the sport so much that you overlook all of that. Even though you know it might come, you overlook all of it. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Ask any football player, baseball player, basketball player, when their knees and back go, was it worth doing what they were doing? Absolutely.
You're training a lot of students. What is it something that you tell your students to look forward to when they make it into the business? And back then, I think I've heard Bubba talk about it on Busted Open, that he had a little setback with the wrestling schools. But what do you suggest to these kids that want to be a professional wrestler? What should they look for in a professional wrestling school, in the coach and the atmosphere?
Well, don't just go to a wrestling school with a guy who opened up a warehouse, put a ring in it. Go to someone that's been somewhere that can tell you how to get there. Because if the person who you decide to go with hasn't been anywhere, then how are you going to make it? How is he going to tell you how to make it? So make sure you go to a wrestling school that's reputable and has some backing behind it. Because if not, chances are you're not going to make it. Because if they didn't make it, then how are you going to make it? So that's my advice to the wrestlers coming up. Make sure you're at a reputable wrestling school and you know who the teacher is and the teacher knows what he's doing.
Lastly, your cigar line, where can people find it? They said it's going to be coming out soon. And what motivated you to get cigar lines? People were talking about wine, beer. You're coming out with a cigar.
Yes, well, I love cigars. And a friend of mine at Fairway Cigar in Melbourne, Florida. Realized that, and we did a thing with David Ortiz, Poppy, Big Poppy, from the Boston Red Sox, and we started talking. And next thing you know, ideas were thrown, and my own cigar line will be coming out soon. So you can go to social media on Testify Devon on Instagram, Testify Devon on Twitter, and you can get all the information on the new cigars that are coming out. That'll be after me, and you'll be able to get your own D Von Dudley cigar. D Von, get the cigars.